All right, good evening. Chair McKinley of the State Planning Commission. We are calling this January 29th meeting to order. And the first order of business tonight is to continue from last meeting our election or recommendation for a person for vice chair. Is anybody on the commission who desires to be vice chair?
Well, we should probably do a roll call.
You want to do a roll call?
Yeah.
We haven't done that before, but yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we can do that.
Sure.
So-
So Peter Bellis
Okay, Peter Bellis.
is here.
Dixie Ellard.
Larry McKinley.
Thanks. Just for the record.
Okay, very good. We can do that. All right, so now we're into the vice chair position. Whether anyone is desirous of being vice chair's duties normally mean if I'm not here, you're sitting where I'm sitting if we've got a hearing or we have public action to take. So you work through that.
I nominate Amy.
Look at that, see?
I was gonna nominate you.
I'll second that nomination.
Okay.
Watch out, here it comes. So we have a nomination on the floor for Amy to be the vice chair. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. You and I, Amy. All right,
Thank you.
we're good.
Great.
We're good. All right. So the next thing on is the approval of the minutes. Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes from last meeting? Any changes? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I would offer a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Good. Carried.
Great.
All right. Now for
Should I
the business of this evening.
Yeah,
Do you wanna-
should I abstain since I was not present at the last meeting? Okay.
So at this point, we are at our subject for tonight, which is the proposed change to interchange development zoning. And Jennifer, do you have any input on that, please?
Sure. As I wrote in my staff report, it is a requirement that the planning commission or the city council initiate any change to the zone. So there is a person that would like to have the land use zone code changed so that general merchandise stores would be allowed in the interchange development zone. I can talk more about if staff would recommend that, but really all we're here today is to initiate going to public hearing because it has to come from the planning commission and it would involve, posting notices and so forth.
Okay.
So if you thought that was something that we should go forward with, just my staff opinion, it seems like the other uses are in line with that use, so it makes sense, and we can discuss the benefits and issues at that other
The
meeting.
hearing.
Yeah.
All right. So any questions or discussion from the planning commission?
I tried to figure out what a general merchandise is.
So isn't it on the,
It's just a use listed in the table. So, yeah, it's not exactly defined, but what we think of it as, there's other retail stores that are listed. So if it's not listed, it's the other one. It's the general
so I would
merchandise.
say a clothing retailer would be a general merchandising store, which in an interchange development zone as it's currently termed is not approved for that area. It's supposed to be oriented to the highway use, which would be anything from a gas station to a bank to a little restaurant where people drive off the highway, use it and get back on the highway and go.
The phrase, I think, needs some definition. I looked it up. I went through our code and I couldn't really find a definition for it. I looked it up on the internet, general merchandise, and it's kind of a classification of everything except food. And so I think the first step is to narrow it down to what general merchandise is. If it's everything but food, then maybe we need even more refinement. I don't know.
Jennifer,
Uh-huh.
I'm actually here so I can speak to it a little bit more to the request.
Would the board want to hear
Pardon me?
or?
Sorry, I'm representing the developer for the project, so I'm happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, so the purpose of the hearing tonight is specifically to say whether we want to have a hearing. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, so we haven't not having a hearing tonight, but you can, yeah, for general merchandise, if you want to add in. what-
Sure.
If you want to state your name and your address for the record.
Howdy, my name is Stayton Moore. I'm with Success Development. Actually, we're actually over at 2505 Spencer's Court in Salina, Texas, 75009. So we're representing Dollar General for this transaction. So, this request is purely for a land use tax amendment. We will allow the additional 750 square feet of retail space. And, with a Dollar General, it's basically a larger size, a larger size AM, PM or ARCO that's just to the south of us. Convenience type store. It's going to have some grocery items, some household items, and kind of your everyday needs.
So I think what's before us tonight is whether or not we want to move forward and recommend having a hearing in our next meeting to address this request to an amendment to the zoning code for interchange development. So
So what if we say, no, we don't want to do
then they'll
that?
go to
Then
city council, and
they decide.
but I think it's a planning commission to look at the zones. I mean, we look at how things are zoned and if there are amendments or changes to those zones, we're the ones that review that and then would give a recommendation to the city council based on our review.
Don't, then they can go to city council without our recommendation.
Sure.
So what they could do is they could ask city council to initiate it. And if city council goes forward, it would be punted back to you to make a recommendation. That's what would happen.
Jennifer, correct me if I'm wrong, but the proposed use matches the interchange development standards, but the only thing that's snagging us right now is the interchange development zone only allows 8,000 square feet of retail space, where we're asking for 8,750, so an additional 750 square feet.
Actually, that's not quite the case.
Okay.
So I know what you were talking, we were previously talking about a change in the zone. But that's, if you were to change the zone, that would be the case, but we're not talking about changing the zone. We're talking about adding a use. But I can do, for what Richard mentioned about defining the use, that would be very helpful. And I can research what uses, if other people have defined that and what other communities before it comes back.
I agree, that would be helpful.
All right. So do we have a recommendation from anybody on the commission what they want to do?
So if we recommend not to do it, then it goes to the city council,
We'll get it back.
but then we get it back anyway.
Yep, you would.
So,
If they initiated, it,
okay.
yeah.
So if we do initiate it, then it goes to city council and then we don't get it back. Or we do.
If you initiate it,
It still goes to city council.
It goes,
it eventually will. So what would happen is if you initiated it, we would have a public hearing, and at that public hearing, you can recommend it or disapprove it or whatever. We haven't gotten to that stage yet.
So
And then it goes to city council and they take your recommendation. What, if your recommendation is for or against
Yeah.
it, whatever the recommendation is, and then the city council does the approval or denial.
So in my opinion, as a planning commission, we would be remiss if we did not take into consideration a proposal for zone amendment to a zone or adding a zone, use of a zone. If we don't take that, then why are we here? I mean, truly,
Right.
that's what we're here to do.
Agreed.
So my opinion is we recommend we move forward. We recommend holding a hearing, letting the proponents come in and present, and the opponents, if there are anybody against it. held a hearing.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to move forward.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. We have a motion and to move forward with having a hearing on the proposed addition to the zone specifications for interchange development. All in favor?
Aye.
I am.
I'm gonna vote no. To me, from what I've read here, the whole plan is designed to defeat the purpose of the current zone. So my vote is no.
I vote no.
So it's a 3-2. Can I have a hearing?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so with that, commission, is there any other business for the planning commission?
I would say no, but we probably will have a meeting next month. I'll probably try to get this public hearing in place. But we do have a lot of pre-applications that are in the works, but not quite to the public hearing yet. So,
So what are they for?
whole bunch of, one is a 3-lot partition on Evergreen. One is for a new restaurant. We had it near Extapa.
Like a whole new building?
I don't know if I should be saying all these things
Right.
that aren't quite in the works yet, but definitely when they bring in an application, you'll know. But I just wanted to let you know that there's
All right.
a lot
Very good,
out there.
very good. All right, anything else from anybody on the commission? All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we adjourn the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Just wanted to for the city council. Good to meet you. Thank you, Brad.
Thanks for coming, Steve.
Yeah.
Good to finally meet you.
Yes, you as well.
Yeah, good. Nice to meet you.
Finally meet you.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So